spent a lot of time working on the base model for my grizzly bear here. And if you look at the object list, man, it's getting really kind of gnarly. There's a lot going on in here, and they're all named just kind of their default names. Cube 1, Sphere 1, and I'm starting to get a little lost. I'm getting very confused as to the role and purpose of each one of these objects. Now, I could, if I wanted to, I certainly could go in and name each object, but man, there's at least like 20, maybe 25 of them in there, and I really don't care about their names at this stage because this is just the blockout model. All of this is going to be remeshed anyways, so going in and naming each object seems like an unnecessary step, but I would like to have some organization inside of my outline or inside of my list so that I can start to understand in the big macro view the purpose of all of these objects and what role they play in the sculpture itself. So I want to show you how to make collections, and collections are a great way to group objects within inside of the scene itself, and it's pretty easy to create a collection and then to move objects inside of that collection in the outliner and in the 3D view. All right, so let's do this. I have my back leg already established here. I want to select all of the pieces on the back leg. Yep, looking pretty good. And then I'm going to create a new collection. Now the keyboard shortcut to do this is pretty neat. It's the M key. M as in move, and that's actually what you're doing. You're not creating a collection, you're moving the objects from one collection into another. And what you get, make sure your mouse cursor's in the 3D viewport, is a little popover menu that looks like this. Now, I know it's small and I apologize, but the options in the menu are New Collection, or we can move it into the Scene Collection or the Default Collection. Well, I'm going to create a new collection. Let's give it a good name. I think I'm just going to call this Rear Leg, and then hit OK. Now watch what happens the moment I hit the OK button. Our outliner changes a little bit here. Now we have a new little file folder inside of our list, our outliner itself. And the objects that I had previously selected have been automatically moved into that collection. Let's do it one more time. I think I'm going to grab all of these parts and pieces that make up the central mass of my, can't forget the tail, of my bear. So one more time, hit the M key on our keyboard, and of course we could move these objects to the rear leg collection or the default, which is just collection and scene collection, or we can make a new one. Let's just call this body. And I accidentally hit the return key before I was able to change the name. So let me just do it in the outliner. Body, there we go. So you can make changes to the collection names after the fact as well. Now, one other thing that's really kind of neat about organizing it with collections is that we now can do group level transforms. Check it out. Inside of this row, we can turn off the children, the visibility of everyone inside that group. This little camera icon is the render icon. So if we were to go in, let's just render this real fast. If we were to go in and render the image, the central part of that image is going to be completely transparent. Now this is in cycles. I'm just going to pause it because it's taking forever. Let's stop this for a second, get this out of the way. So we can turn the render on and off, the visibility on and off. This is the this last one here. We'll make it, it's not invisible, but it's unavailable to be linked to other objects. Something we'll talk about when it comes to posing and creating control rigs inside of our scene. Often we just want to have geometry that's not going to influence or be influenced by some sort of simulation or some other component inside of our three-dimensional scene. That's what this little option box here does. So working with collections is a great way to organize your scene into logical groups, logical folders. We're not rigging anything. We're not making a physical, mechanical connection between these objects. Collections are a way for us to organize our scene a little bit more intelligently so that we can work quickly, efficiently, and hopefully it will allow us to see our object in a new way, right? I use these collections to very quickly just organize things like, okay, this is what the legs look like. Or maybe I just want to focus in on the body. It's a great way for us to quickly flush out some shapes and to organize our scenes here inside of Blender.